Malcolm, we had a really great SOTI 2025. What was your impressions of it?
You know something, it just blew my mind. I mean, in simple terms, honestly, it would be the kind of event that I would have loved to have actually just participated in, been in the audience, listening to all those great speakers, those inspirations, and some of it was a little bit controversial, I think, as well, but I would have just loved to have been in the audience and just listening to all that sort of wisdom. It was mind-blowing,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
How
I
did you feel?
I thought it was I thought we could have had more challenging presentations. You know, not too many, like I think one of our ideals is safety on the edge is to push the boundaries. There was a couple that was really good. But not that actually shook the earth. But the ones we had shook the earth in different ways. It was I just can't get over that day one where we had the keynotes following one after the other, and it started off with that really inspirational one of Kim Green.
Oh,
That what's the American expression? She knocked the ball out of the park. Uh,
oh, that's right. We also use that for cricket, by the way, in England.
oh, that's
When
right.
you
Yeah,
when you hit it for six, kind of
yeah,
thing, and whatever. For anybody that knows cricket, but you know what got me about that presentation from her, and it was more than a presentation. You could feel a passion and how important health and safety was for her. And towards the end, I don't know if you noticed, and I don't know whether it comes through in the videos, but I could see the tears swell in her eyes because she was feeling,
yeah.
feeling that, their obligation, the accountability she has for the people of Southern Company in their lives. It was just a very
Absolutely.
special moment. And I've been to a lot of conferences, right, as you have, right? And I know you and I have sort of co-founded SOTI, but that was the most amazing, best start to any conference that I've ever been to.
Absolutely. And coming
It
from a
was.
line executive, a senior executive, a CEO of a large organization, you don't you kind of like get often the impression that people say, we have to get our leadership to buy in, and there's all these efforts to buy them in. And in that case, there is no need to buy Kim Green in. She
No.
buys you into her. And that's what it should be, isn't it? That's what the leader of an organization should do. They should lead the way of safety and everything else, but not to be, okay, I agree with the direction that the safety person says we should go. That's buying in. That's not leading. That's managing from the back. It's not. So that was great. But the other thing that was also for me important was the fact that we had the presidents of the safety associations, NSC, ASSP, all on day one participating, and to confirm that whole concept that we had right from the beginning, that we don't want to compete commercially with the NSC or the ASSP. We're a specialist niche safety forum, and that's, I think, to me, what we've achieved and
Oh,
established our,
totally.
our niche there.
Yeah, and it's all about for us, if you remember when we sat down and talked about it as well, it's all about moving the needle, but also breaking silos, bringing people together. And I don't know if you know, but it was the first time that ASSP or the CEOs of ASSP, National Safety Council, NSC, and the AIHA, the American Industrial Hygiene Association. So that's Jennifer McNally, Lorraine Martin, and Larry Sloan. That's the first time they've been on stage together on a panel,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
I mean, it was for a lot of the people in the audience that was really, really powerful, and the discussions and the frankness and the openness, honestly, was very refreshing as well.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was good
Oh,
to
yeah.
listen to them, and it gives you confidence that the three organizations are actually trying to do the right thing by going forward and taking health and safety to the next level, right? It was an
Absolutely.
amazing,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
amazing.
And of course, since then, we have formed a partnership with the NSC, and Baltimore next year, 5, 6 May. It's going to be in partnership with the NSC. We're going to have 5 and 6 May. They're going to do 7 and 8, their spring conference. And I think it confirms what you just said. You know, they look beyond the NSC in this particular case now. They look beyond the commercial sides of running conferences, and they said, well, let's work with Safety on the Edge, and we are very keen to work with NSC and create an alliance in that way, and move the needle even further
Oh,
with even if it's different audiences, but we are in the same week. You know, that also gives some real practical logistical benefits to people.
yeah.
That, you know, I'm going to Baltimore for this conference. Well, I can get the other conference too, and maybe stay the week and then spend the week on conferencing. So it's really, from that perspective, very beneficial.
I think it's an amazing proposition, and the fact that it's the spring conference, you know, with SOTI the 2 days before, I think is absolutely the thing that safety leaders like myself and senior positions within organizations, it's almost like a 2-for-1 week, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because the week very often when we're traveling, if we go someplace for 2 days, right, like say just a Tuesday, Wednesday, well, we've really lost a week, if you know what
of
I mean.
course. Yeah, it's gone already. Yeah,
It's gone on the one, but here we're getting both. So I think as a proposition, it's very forward thinking, right?
yeah, yeah,
And I think that the people that are out there that are in leadership positions within environmental health and safety, occupational health and safety, industrial hygiene, are going to see a benefit, right?
yeah,
It's going to be
yeah.
everything in one place. And you know, from my point of view, I don't know about you, I have never been to Baltimore.
Oh yeah, I've been, but it's a lovely city. You know,
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's quite an attractive city. It's got its reputations too. As you know, like every city has a bad part and a good part. We're going to the good part,
Okay.
the waterfront, I think, where the conference center is. But Baltimore is a lovely place. But just reminiscing back to Berkeley again, the other highlight for me there was really the gala night with the lifetime awards and the company awards. That was very, very special. You know, to me, that was to see people like those four: David Woods, Carlin Roberts, James Reason being recognized, Diane Vaughan being recognized, not being there, but James Reason unfortunately passed away before he could come. Or we offered him the award in November, and he passed away in January, February.
It was something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
Because
I'm so
at
glad that
one
we could capture his legacy. You know, in I think you mentioned that was it David Woods that said that as an academic, he'd never been recognized by a
yeah,
safety organization before.
I don't think any of them had actually been recognized by the profession, right?
Yeah,
And you know, by academia, yes, kind of thing. But the actual safety profession would have had a major influence on what we've done. Maybe it's taken off on different other branches, but that was a little bit like the the forefront of thinking at the time. And David was even telling me that at one point his papers were kind of rejected and stuff. You know, it was that kind of advanced some time ago. And as a result of what they did and the tenacity, the resilience, you know, things have evolved which have been integrated into what is a practitioner's health and safety sort of toolbox. But I
yeah,
thought it was amazing. And I remember though, I remember when you first said to me, what do you think about a lifetime award? And I was sort of and ahhing with the idea because I never thought that, you know, the icons of the kind of people that we were talking about would actually maybe accept, right? I didn't have,
yeah,
and I just want to say now on this podcast, you were right. I mean, it was just awesome, and to be there. I mean, and David Woods when he collected the award on behalf of James Reason, he said a little speech and all the rest of it. I mean, the guy was crying, right?
yeah.
It
It
was
was
that
so
emotional
emotional.
because of it all, and it was just a fantastic moment. And I don't know about you, but it's gonna stay with me forever, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was really an emotional high point. And also when I remember you went down the stage to present it to Carlene Roberts, who was unable to really get up to the stage, onto the stage, and we all gathered around her.
Ah,
and that was also a very, very special moment. And so yeah, that whole event, had these highlights, and I can't think of a low light in the
no.
whole event. It was, the venue was fantastic. The audience were so appreciative. It was just great to see that and experience that.
Even the detail of it, the food, people commented to me on the quality of the food, but in the way that we did it to create a networking opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because if there's one thing, again, people in senior EHS positions in organizations were thirsty, were hungry to network, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
through, even though there was a lot of events during the day, which everybody loved, at night, afterwards, during the evening, a gala event, during lunchtime, etc., great opportunities for networking for people and
yeah.
sharing,
And there's a
which I
bit of
was
a,
great.
a, a valuable lesson, and I don't think we're going to be able to repeat that. But the fact that we had the whole thing in the hotel where most people were staying, the whole venue was there. It was one big hotel that actually created a really great platform for that networking.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I'm quite pleased that I think we're going into May now. It's also going to be in Baltimore because, in some respects, think about this, right? So we've got an Englishman living in France, a South African living in Canada, coming together to organize an event in the United States in probably the most expensive sort of like uh, it's not called a county, state, right?
Yeah, yeah,
California and in San Francisco. And not only that, we do it at spring break week.
yeah,
So
right in the middle
prices
of
are
it.
high, people are on holiday and all the rest of it. I mean, it's almost laughable in some respects, but I mean, you and I, when we set the dates, we never thought about, oh, it's spring break week,
Yeah.
we can't do it, kind of thing. But
Well, we
anyhow,
actually, we actually,
experience.
yeah, we were like, we thought spring break would create an opportunity. It didn't
We had
necessarily
that.
do that.
Oh, we had that
It was,
conversation as well. But it was an absolutely fantastic event, and and I thought also the way we split into the four streams with
yeah,
targeted subjects. So, people had the opportunity to go into a stream that they were interested in, right?
that's
Whether
right.
it
Yeah.
was on culture or whatever. And I don't know how you felt about the streams and everything, but well, let's say a little bit, but I thought they went very, very, very well. And we gave people the choice to go where they wanted to go, what met their needs and what was interesting for them. I don't know what your take was on that.
Yeah, I agree because normally when you go to a conference, you have a choice between speakers. Now we had a choice between speakers, but also we had the themes. So you're right, people were actually latching onto a theme, and I know we will do that again for Baltimore to give people that where they feel interested in and come from. And if they want to step into another stream for another speaker, they can do that. They can come back because it's all time-wise aligned. I think that's going to be a really great. Yeah, next year, Baltimore. Uh,
Yes.
I'm so excited about it because we have the most amazing group of lifetime award winners again, and we're going to have a big night on that, and the fifth, and same as what we did this year in Berkeley. We're going to have the audience vote for the company awards, the company excellence awards. We again will have the finalists there and they will make their pitch to the audience why they should win. And the audience will vote. And it spills over into the award night. And really, that's going to be a repeat of a really great process. We almost stumbled upon, didn't we? Like we said, oh, let's do this. And a lot of the things we did was like that. Let's try this. Let's go. And we just comes out and we start doing it. Works out excellent.
Oh, and especially the bit about actually getting the audience to vote.
Yeah.
The finalists get to pitch. I mean, it's a very fast pitch because I think if I remember right, we gave them about 10 minutes
10 minutes each.
each, very, very fast. And then the audience gets to vote and that um, that that accumulate the results, and that determines the winners. I thought that was genius, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it really gets people involved. And then, I will never forget the face of Carol Schmidt and the other person from Pernod Ricard when Pernod Ricard
Mm.
got second place, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. And the faces, it was absolutely magical. But it just goes to show um, the pride and the passion that you can come out by winning awards, right? By getting
absolutely.
your companies recognized. And,
Yeah,
very often in health and safety, we see things from a negative point of view, and there are some people that say to me, "Oh, we shouldn't celebrate because we don't know what's around the corner." But you've got to celebrate in the morning, in the moment, and I think it's very, very important. And then Carol went back, for example, with Pernod Ricard, and I don't know if you remember, they did a LinkedIn post about it. They celebrated within the company because this was a major thing to them. They
yeah,
got recognized for what they
yeah,
were doing in health and safety. Time to
yeah.
celebrate. It was fantastic.
I'm a firm believer in recognition, and it motivates. It recognizes the past, but it motivates the future.
Yes.
And to me and there's another thing that for recognition that's always stood by me, and that is and it's a principle we've applied again. Edward de Bono famously said, "If you reward results, you don't get effort. If you reward effort, you get results." And we have got a very good focus here on recognizing the effort, and that drives it into the future. And I think we're going to have a really good turnout this year with companies coming on board with it and applying to be part of the whole process. And I can foresee that the Safety on the Edge Awards is going to become a prominent award on the world stage. I just feel that.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be very important. It goes back to this. You know, when you win some awards, it's like at company level, right? Or it's global. And if it's global, you don't necessarily feel it at country level or at site level because you're a bit detached from it.
Yeah,
Here, we give possibilities for an organization at sort of like a company level to win an award or a regional level, multiple sites. But also, and for me, the most important bit of all of this is the sites, right? The sites can go back and they celebrate. They've
yeah,
earned it. They can celebrate individually, whether it's a pizza party or whatever, it doesn't really matter, whatever, but they can celebrate that we've won an award. So I think by having both the company that allows a company to celebrate, but also sites and let them celebrate, it's just a winning combination. I think
yeah,
it's out of the
yeah.
out of this world. But I have a question for you as we're going along, right?
Hmm.
You know, there was an important moment in SOTI 2025 where I got to choose the music.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to let me choose the music in SOTI 2026?
Well, when you said let's play AC/DC and Black Sabbath on at Berkeley, I was immediately, no way, we can't do that at a safety conference. And then I think I forgot about it, and you said to the people, yeah, let's put it on. And I couldn't believe, oh, here's this horrible black magic music coming on, or Black Sabbath. And people come to me and say, what great music have you got?
I know, uplifting,
Yeah.
whatever. I
So
mean,
yes, Malcolm, you are choosing the music again.
well, I've got that recorded, by the way, so I'll be able to remember that. But I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. And I think going on to SOTI 2026, I mean, you've talked about the lifetime awards, which we're going to repeat. We're going to repeat the company and the site awards. But we're also starting to line up, and I know it's at early stages as well. Some amazing speakers again, eh? Because
Yeah,
how
yeah.
important to you is having top class speakers there?
I mean, I think that is the distinction. We do not have consultants lining up to sell their products to be speakers. If we allow a consultant in, we have a very clear policy. They can't promote themselves, they can't promote their books or their services. If it's people who wrote books, we don't we will support some books to be launched like we did, but it's not they're not going to come there to sell themselves. Self promotion is really not part of how we do it. And I think the fact that we targeted the speakers and also only allowed the best speakers to come on board, I think that was another distinction, a distinctive aspect of Safety on the Edge. And and we're going to do that again.
Yes,
We already have a fantastic lineup of people who applied, already a fantastic lineup of people that we've asked to come on board again. And I think let's say who else we have got. Kim Green coming back. She's agreed to come back
we
as a
have.
speaker. We have Todd Conklin agreed again to come and be a speaker again for next year. And let me just, I'll edit this out. My mail is dinging. And we have the workshops this year. Let's have a little bit of a chat about the workshops, because here's another extension to the whole Safety on the Edge concept. And
Oh,
what are we going to
completely.
do?
This is a scoop now. This is a scoop,
This
huh?
is a scoop. This is
Go
the
for it, Corey.
first
Go
time
for it.
no. So we're going to have four-hour workshops the day after Safety on the Edge closes. We do 5 and 6. And on the 7th, the National Safety Congress starts their spring conference. But people can buy a separate ticket to attend a 4-hour workshop that will start after the NSC's inaugural session, the launching session. And the 4 workshops will be 4 hours, very exclusive. It'll be not expensive because but we're going to limit the numbers. There's not going to be more than 40 people allowed per workshop. And we're going to sell, I'll announce 2, you announce the other 2. Um, I'll announce the one is going to be, well, the one that we haven't got the names for yet is the diamond sponsor. Whoever the diamond sponsor is, and we'll announce that too, will be given a 4-hour workshop where they can invite whoever they want to bring, and we'll approve that, people to run a 4-hour workshop. The other workshop is going to be Todd Conklin and myself sharing the stage, sharing the workshop and we're going to talk about the how to make HOP and the new view of safety sustainable. How do we put that into practice, and how do you ensure that it has a life in the organization and it stays in the organizations in terms of systems and culture and behaviors? So that's going to be the 2. You announce the other 2.
I will do. So the other two, one of them is going to be Kathy Seabrook with Andressa Hernandez. Now, Kathy Seabrook is the CEO of Global Solutions Inc., but she really is a pioneer driving the people sustainability, ESG, and where health and safety fits within those agendas. Absolutely fantastic. And she's partnered up with Andressa, who is the Vice President of Health and Safety, the Global Vice President of Health and Safety at Siemens. And she's going to be partnering with Kathy to deliver a very not only interactive workshop, but also showing with some tips about what Siemens are doing in this space. Kathy will also be describing about how you can, where you can take your culture, how you can work on people sustainability integrated into ESG, and where that and how you can develop that. So it's going to be a very practical orientated workshop, which is absolutely going to be fantastic. The final one is one that I'm really looking forward to, and that's between Jean-Christophe Lecoz and James Pomeroy. Now, Jean-Christophe is a safety researcher and sociologist at an research organization called Ineris, just outside of Paris. He has a worldwide reputation of really looking at what's out there in the safety science and trying to make sense of it. Absolutely fantastic. His workshops that he's done before in Europe have been attended by a lot of people. grounding theory and how that theory can drive into practice. He tends to work with nuclear industry and high reliability type of organizations. And then he's partnered with James Pomeroy, who's the health and safety director at an organization called Arup. And James is not only really into a practitioner when it comes to health and safety at leadership level, strategic level, but he also loves research, right? So
Right.
this is
Yeah.
almost like a
Yeah.
pair made in heaven. So he's currently done his PhD. He's trying to think out of the box and how do we make a difference within health and safety. Them together is going to be a real powerful sort of workshop. So to be between you and I, between now and then, I'm planning on cloning myself 4 times, and each one of my clones is going to go into each one of these sessions because I don't know which one I would choose, Corey. I mean, which
Yeah.
one would you choose to be in? You've got to be in
Oh,
the one with Todd because you're presenting, but which
yeah.
which one? What would you do? What's your choice?
My choice would be my second choice after I've attended my own with Todd. is
Love it.
I would love to sit in with James Pomeroy and Jean-Christophe Lecaus. I think that connection between academia, theory, and practice, James will really bring that forward. Jean-Christophe will bring the concepts. I think that'll be another great one. But Kathy and Andresa's topics are so topical. So very much part of our discussions and themes these days in safety. ESG and those kind of things are really up there. So yeah, the harder we make the choice for people to choose from, the better we are doing.
I tell you, and one of the things, just to let you know, I mean, putting my L'Oreal hat on, um, we do well in many areas. I wouldn't say we're benchmark, but we do well in many areas. But when I look at other companies that I want to benchmark against, Siemens is up there at top of the list, right?
Yeah,
It's one of the,
absolutely.
and actually to be in the room. I mean, it was the same when we listened to Andressa at SOTI 2025. I mean, she commanded the room. It was full of interesting stuff of where she was taking the future of Siemens in the position that she has. And even though I was busy, sort of like organizing things, behind the scenes like we did, I stopped and listened and I took notes.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
Honestly, it's absolute. And the the other thing that we need to sort of remember as well is the fact that, and I think it's important that it comes down to the ethos of what we did when we first created SOTI, and it's staying with us now. Is this connecting, breaking the silos, whatever you want to talk about it, between things like process safety, industrial hygiene, occupational safety, academia, and research, and bringing them together with the idea of sharing and networking so that we can take health and safety to the next level
Yeah,
and
yeah,
give that power and that information to these senior leaders in senior organizations. So when they're developing their next strategies, they have much more input from
yeah,
the networking and the information they get from SOTI. And also, I still have that dream that if we can get academia to focus a little bit on the needs of industry, on the focus of research, then that is going to help us as well.
yeah. No,
Um,
definitely.
I
Yeah,
don't think we can forget that within our ethos, that is also an important aspect of what we're trying to make to bring through in SOTI.
yeah. No, and I think what to me what you just said there is very important. We have an ethos. We have a value-based intention with safety on the edge. We don't have a commercial focus. We have a real ethos. We want to make a difference in safety for the true worth of it, the value of it, and we will never forget that. And that's why we have a focus on who are the speakers. That they're not self-promoting the sponsors, and we haven't got the sponsors sorted out for 2026 yet. But last year, or 2025, we had DSS Plus, we had DECRA, we had NSC, ASSP, and all the sponsors that we had. And they're all organizations that are sharing that value with us.
Yes.
And so maybe mentioning that now next year in 2026, we will do the same in the selection of the sponsors. It sounds odd that a conference is going to say they are selecting sponsors because sponsors are the lifeblood of conference. They provide an income stream that is a solid thing. But we'd rather make a loss than selling our souls in safety on the edge. And I think that's a very important principle that we both share. And I think that's what connected us right from the beginning. Is that we share a value, we share values, we share a vision that is not a commercial one.
No, and it's all about giving back to, I think, to the profession that we owe so much to. I mean, it's been my life. I want to see it evolve. I want to see it get better with the objective, in saving lives, reducing injuries, etc. I mean, it's also so important. And I think the other thing as well to mention is you're right. We're not out to make any money. We obviously have to break even,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We'd like to break even, and that's why we've also made that commitment that if we do make a profit, right, when it will go to charity
It'll go to
because
charity. Yeah,
because we feel that's the right thing to do, and and if we have that kind of mindset that it's all about giving back to the profession, helping leaders make better decisions going forward with respect to health and safety, we get the price right because we're not about trying to make money, so we keep the price as low as we can possibly to cover costs and whatever. Then I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's a
yeah,
win-win for the profession. It's a win-win for health and safety. It's a win-win for the leaders that are there that want to network and whatever because it's affordable and it's value added, right?
yeah, yeah. Definitely. Yeah,
I think our vision and our ethos and everything is just remarkable. And I sometimes feel very happy that our paths crossed, which you remember it came from Choke from
yes,
Nike. He put us
yes.
in touch right at the
That's
beginning,
right.
and it's been a journey since. But you know,
Yeah,
I think SOTI 2026, SOTI 2026 is just going to take the level of conference into another level. I think we did that with SOTI 2025 in North America. Not seen anything like it, and I think we've set the
yeah,
bar, and we're not going to stop there. I mean, you and I are both people that like to push the limits and go beyond continuous improvement. That coupled by the fact that we want to give back to the industry, we want to give back to the health and safety profession. I think it's going to be win-win, and I think you do the same, and that's why we're enjoying this, huh?
absolutely. It's having fun all the way. It's like a new lease of life. For my business takes a lot of time and effort, but this is on top of that, and so this happens after hours. But it's the most one of the most enjoyable things I've done in a long time, and I'm really enjoying it. And but
So,
before we sign off, we have to do the last scoop. And the scoop is our Baltimore Lifetime Award winner. I think we
oh
should announce that today as
yes,
well.
I think go for it. I absolutely think you can do this.
Let me just explain to the audience how we selected this year. We selected last year we had four lifetime achievers in academia, pioneers in academia. This year, 2026, we decided to split it up. We're going to do two lifetime awards for academics, pioneers in academia, and to practitioners, safety practitioners, people who played a role in the actual deployment of concepts. So I'll announce one academic, one practitioner, and you do the other. So
Got a
from
deal.
all
You
right,
go first.
the academic that is going to win the 2026 Lifetime Award in Baltimore is Amy Edmondson from Harvard. She has proven over many years a great contribution to academic research, to concepts, and of course, everybody knows her in terms of the psychological safety concept that she popularized, developed, put into place. But she's done much more in her field than just psychological safety. So Amy Edmondson is our lifetime award winner in that regard. And the practitioner that we felt has contributed a great deal to safety over decades now. And as you just said there, has given back to this profession as a legacy. And I think we could have not come up with a better choice than Tom Kraus for the work that he's done in behavioral safety. I mean, behavioral safety has been for decades been the driving force in safety. It created so much effort and progress in safety. It has now waned in its profile or its popularity, but I don't think that the principles of behavior-based safety is to be is to be laughed at. We just talked about earlier about recognition. Recognition drives behavior, drives the future, and it's a key concept in behavioral safety. And Tom Kraus has been instrumental in that. So Carl Wick is probably the father of the high reliability organization. He wrote the very first books in that field. He did research at the Berkeley research unit where they did this research about aircraft carriers and nuclear. And probably one of his most famous books is well-known books in the market. There is Managing the Unexpected that he published with Kathy Sutcliffe.
Yes.
But the whole concept of there's many others too, that worked in this field, Paul Schulman and Kathy Sutcliffe and many others. And so he has made a tremendous contribution in that field. And then
Yeah,
the
no.
last award winner.
It's somebody whose contribution, I think, to health and safety in these modern times is undisputed. And I think it's allowing people to focus more and more on the human performance, etc. So we're going to recognize Todd Conklin. And I think the way he's developed and got health and safety experts, especially I'm going to say in the United States, in North America, to focus on the importance of organizational performance and human performance has just been absolutely vital. He has his 5 principles that everybody knows about, and he is helping transforming health and safety by focusing on the fact that people are human, right?
Yeah,
People are just people. And I would say he's still young. He's still got a lifetime ahead of him, right? But
yeah,
what he has done today and the way he's helping people transform, I think is exceptional. And I think he's a real worthy winner of a lifetime award from SOTI. Really do. And I know
absolutely.
that you know him as well and all the rest of it, and you're doing the workshop with him. But when I look at what he's done, the companies and the way Hop has actually become global. I mean, it's not just in the United States now. I see it here in Europe more and more. He's a very worthy winner. And it's going to be
Yeah.
great to have him there. And that's another workshop that I want to be part of as well.
No, wonderful. No, that's going to be great. So yeah, Malcolm, I think we are so well set up for 2026. From Berkeley to Baltimore. We'll have to find
Oh,
in 2027. We'll have to find a city that starts with a B again, so we can have this theme: Berkeley, Baltimore, and I don't know,
Boston.
Boston next year.
I got 2027 already. I'm going to finish off with a bit of a commercial stuff thing as well, if I can, just to let everybody know if they don't know, if they're listening in, that the early birds have just gone out. Right, it's a great opportunity. And if I can, the 2 for 1 is a much better deal than if you come on your own. I think it's the time to seize them, get in there now, and we look forward to seeing everybody in Baltimore. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Well, Malcolm, that was lovely to have a chat with you. We'll have another chat on. Hey, and we didn't announce this. Safety on the Edge Talks is going to be
Oh
a
yeah.
podcast. A podcast coming every second week or so, and we're going to have speakers from past and future SOTI conferences joining us in this way, and other people outside of the speaker list that we're going to enjoy. So we're going to create a real fully fledged podcast to push safety to the edge
And beyond.
and beyond. Well, Malcolm, we'll I'll see you at the next planning meeting of Safety on the Edge next week.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Peace.